Okay, as far as I can tell, this is streaming. I've never done this before. It's a pain in the ass. According to YouTube, I am streaming, or I was a couple minutes ago. Let's just check again. But today's goal... Okay, apparently I am streaming. Okay, as far as I can tell, this is streaming. We're going to keep rolling with this, and I will continue to check the comments in case it's not working. But today's goal is to just look at Nature is Metal. It's this really cool account on Instagram. I don't know if they have other accounts. I think Reddit maybe too. But they post a lot of really cool, just sort of raw content from nature. A lot of it is from safaris. A lot of it is from people's backyards, like just capturing videos on their phones. But it's really interesting stuff. A lot of it is gory, so be warned. But let's just start with this beaver one right here. So.
Oh my God.
It's a beaver that got... Wow, that's brutal. A beaver that got its head crushed from doing what beavers do. Beavers chew down trees. They do it persistently until they can chop a whole tree down, which is phenomenal. They're called, shapers of the ecosystem. They're really powerful. They dam entire rivers. So this one creature has a disproportionate effect on its environment. Unfortunately, sometimes it ends badly for it. You can see his orange teeth sort of sticking out there. Pretty cool stuff. If you ever see a beaver in the wild, they will sometimes give you a warning by they'll be swimming in the water and they'll slap their tail, and that usually means to you like get away or here I am sort of thing. It's like an intimidation thing. So yeah, let's keep going here. What do we have? Looks like a video of a hawk. Description says it's a sharp-shinned hawk, and looks like he just grabbed a little bird out of the sky. It's pretty impressive when you see those little birds flying around in your backyard. To think that a hawk is fast enough to catch those things, I mean, we would never stand a chance. Hawks are built to do that sort of thing. They have amazing vision. They can go up miles in the sky and detect movement way down below. You'll often see sharp-shinned hawks, or what's common in the U.S. is a red-tailed hawk. Those are like the most proliferous. They're down in Texas, they're up in Washington, they're even on the East Coast, and they'll sit on power lines. They'll sit in trees and just look down into fields, and they'll just wait for a mouse or a shrew or something to move. And that's how they get onto their prey. They just keep a good eye out for them. Let's check on our YouTube comments because I have no idea if this is working or not. Hello, top chat. No chat. That's okay. First stream. Okay. Let's go back to Nature's Metal. Third video. Showtime. The deer that this couple is watching gets ambushed by a tiger.
No, where?
Whoa!
Whoa! Holy shit! Oh my God! Oh Jesus! Oh my God!
Wow!
Oh my God!
It's pretty cool to see a hunt in live action. The territory of these animals, in particular tigers or just a lot of felines, is super wide. Like a mountain lion, for example, I think it's like 100. It's at least 100 miles. I was going to say 300, but at least mountain lions have a huge range. I know tigers have a very huge range too. So to see an actual tiger hunting in the wild, it's a pretty cool treat. Obviously, it's sad to see an animal die, but in a certain sense, it's a very rare thing to see a lion hunt one of these deers. This is in India, apparently. Let's see. Tigers are successful in roughly 10 to 20% of their hunting attempts, meaning for every 10 tries, on average, they will score 1 kill, 2 at most. Like all big cats, tigers are ambush predators, which means they rely on stealth and surprise to capture their prey. So this tiger did a great job, actually. let's watch it again here, and we'll see that this deer that got caught, there's a whole stream of them, right? So we have one on the very left, 2, 3, we have a stag, we have a doe, 2 or 3 of them bolt, and then, yeah, it's like the 4th or 5th deer that gets caught. So they're great ambush predators, like this guy says. Really incredible animals. There's an episode on Planet Earth where there's a tigress, it's a tiger mom. I think she has 3 cubs, which is really hard to do in the wild because normally my understanding is there's, they can give birth to 3, but only 2 survive. But anyway, so this tigress in the movie or show Planet Earth, I believe, is able to have a success rate around 30%, which is very high for a tiger. It's tough being a hunter. If you've ever hunted, you know this. It's a pain in the butt. You gotta work your ass off, and you maybe get something in the end. A lot of times you don't. So I used to see these things as super sad, especially watching those shows. But after trying to hunt myself, I realized the struggle that every animal goes through to survive, including hunters. This is a chipmunk here. Oh, that's brutal. Wow. This chipmunk is literally eating a baby bird. So there's this idea that basically herbivores often will run out of the nutrients that they need, and you can even find deer that will nibble on pieces of meat sometimes, even though they're herbivores. Sometimes this is classified as osteophagy, which is basically the consumption of bones by herbivores for the same reason. So herbivores need other nutrients besides just the plants. This chipmunk, he is, I believe chipmunks and squirrels are omnivores because they eat bugs. But still, it's pretty brutal to see a chipmunk eating a fledgling bird. Let's read what it says here. Chipmunks perceive this cute. They'll eat a variety of foods, insects, fungi. Yeah, so like I thought, they're omnivores. Sometimes small animals like baby birds or even eggs. The consumption of animal matter provides them with essential nutrients that might not be easily obtainable from plant material, especially protein and fats, which are crucial for energy storage. So like I said, a lot of herbivores struggle to do that because of the plants that they just depend on. So the way I see this is, yeah, it might look like it's actually consuming this animal, this chipmunk, but the way I see it is almost like it's a salt lick. So if you're familiar with deer or with horses, if you ever have been around horses, you have to provide them with salt licks. So basically it's like a block of salt that you put out to supplement the diet of the horses, who are, depending on grass or hay or alfalfa, whatever you feed them. And then the salt lick is like basically vitamins. So the way I see it is that this chipmunk is essentially using this animal as a little bit of a salt lick. He's not going to consume the whole thing. He's just kind of getting a little bit of some nutrients that he needs. Let's move on to the next one here. We got projectile fish. That's crazy. It's called the archer fish, apparently. Wow. He knocked off this bug. Looks kind of like a roach. It's pretty incredible. Wow. It's a pretty far shot too, and he launched the bug. And I'm assuming this fish eats it afterwards. Really cool stuff. So the description says, in the intricate tapestry of nature, the archerfish stands out for its unique hunting technique, evolving in the brackish waters of Southeast Asia and Northern Australia. Okay, that's a pretty big range. Wow, talks about evolution and how evolution favored water jets. So that's the thing, is that evolution is random. It's about like a trait that develops that ends up being advantageous. A lot of times, in fact, most of the time, a trait that develops, like let's say a fur color gets brighter or a tooth gets longer or whatever it may be, most of the time those traits are disadvantageous. So That's why it's nice to have That's why it's important to have a population that is diverse. So you have a lot of different individuals with different traits. And then, like, if you compare all these individuals, and let's say there's an environmental change, like, let's see, like it's only really big bugs that are surviving, and we're looking at a bunch of birds, and the birds need a certain type of beak to eat the big bugs, which are the only bugs that are around. Then a certain type of beak would be more advantageous. So maybe there's 30 birds and they have different types of beaks, but 2 of them have the right beak to consume this big bug that's, you know, their only food source. And then these 2 birds with the right type of beak, they populate, they make more individuals. So the idea here is that this archerfish has evolved a technique that was advantageous years ago, thousands of years ago. And that advantage, you know, allowed for that individual or set of individuals to you know, populate more, and then those fish have the same jet technique and they populate more. Anyway, that's a deep dive in evolution. Let's go to this next tiger video. Use your mouth for gar. Ooh. Oh wow. This is crazy. That's a fresh kill. So if you're not understanding what you're seeing here, this is a tiger taking away the child gar that was inside of the adult gar. So basically, there's an adult gar, which is a type of herbivore in India. It's like a deer, and it was pregnant, and the tiger killed the mother and found the individual inside. And that's the meal it's going with, which is, in terms of eating, it's probably a much better meal. If you eat older animals, it's much tougher meat, a lot more work. Yeah, wow, that's pretty brutal. Let's see what it says. If you're not familiar with the Indian gar, picture a delivery truck with 4 legs and a bad attitude. Alternatively, you can go to our Twitter page. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Let's look up gar for people. Indian gar. Okay, so this is essentially, it looks like a water buffalo, but holy cow, these things are muscled. Wow. So a tiger took down one of these things, and it was a pregnant one, and it took out the baby inside. That's some rough stuff. Let's go on to the next one here. More tiger stuff. A Bengal tiger with a healed injury. Yeah, look at that nose. Split down the middle. That's a tough fight. A lot of tigers, well, let's just say this. Male tigers, when they get to ages of adolescence, they have to leave their mothers and they have to go find their own territory, their own new territory, right? So they go into, let's say the mother's here, they're with their mother, they go over here somewhere else. And then they find out, uh-oh, there's another male over here. And this male, odds are, is much bigger, much older than this young tiger that just left its mom. So, you know, you end up getting in fights. So these young adolescents have to kind of skirt around different territories until they can find one that's their own. Or once they feel like they're confident enough, once it's like an adult, mature tiger, he can take on a tiger that already has a territory. And that's when you get these fights, that's when you get these crazy scars where you have a nose split in half down the middle. It's pretty unbelievable. You know, these animals just lick their wounds and they're okay. They don't use any drugs, they don't use any medication, they just lick it a little bit, get some water on it, and move on with their lives. Let's pause it for a second. I don't know if I'm going to press play again. What the hell? down the screen capture audio. Hello? Okay, this one isn't super interesting. It just seems like there's a train of little birds that gets abducted by the coyote. Let's keep moving. Here's a shark. What kind of shark? A tiger shark? It's a bull shark. The gaping wound. Holy cow. It's right on the gill line. A gaping wound that may seem catastrophic is just another chapter in her survival story. Like other sharks, bull sharks are renowned for their swift and efficient healing, warding off infections and promoting rapid tissue recovery. This resilience, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so these wounds are pretty crazy to look at. Whoa, wow, that's a big difference. That's the before and after, I guess. I guess I missed that. There's a lot of stories about animals that take these crazy wounds, you know, from fights, from being shot at, from whatever it is, and they make these miraculous recoveries without any medical intervention, right? So the question is, as an outside observer, how do these animals survive such a gaping wound like that? I won't speak to underwater stuff. That's not my thing. But I know that for, you know, land mammals, saliva actually does play a big part in it. And in fact, it can be a bad thing to use soap, because soap, so it emulsifies fats, which basically means that it, because it's so viscous and bubbly and like it gets in all the little cracks, it separates the fat from, you know, the rest of the material. Anyway, basically what that means is dish soap separates the bad germs and the good germs and your own cells, your own good cells, from the wound. So let me say that again. It separates the good and bad cells from your actual wound, which could be a bad thing because your body has an immune system. The immune system puts out these white blood cells, these T cells, to protect the wound. It pumps out blood. Blood pressure pushes out germs, right? So oftentimes, if you use soap, it's not necessarily the best thing to do. And we know that because we've observed animals in the wild that will just lick wounds away. They'll take a huge gash and they'll just lick it up and then they'll be fine. So I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys. Let's keep going. Here's a robin. What's it doing here? Looks like it's feeding its chicks. Oh, that is, oh my gosh. That's disgusting. Holy cow. Okay, so this is a this is a robin. I'm only going to play it one more time because it's quite gross. It's a robin parent that is consuming the fecal matter from its children, from its fledglings. Now that makes sense from an evolutionary perspective, from a survival perspective, because poop smells bad. So if it attracts predators, then it's a good reason to remove that smell. So for example, deer, I know doe, which is a female deer, it will lick their fawn, their baby deer, clean all over the whole body. So once they give birth to a baby deer, the fawn, they will lick the whole body everywhere to remove any scent whatsoever. And that's one of the survival strategies that these fawn use to, you know, sort of stay off the radar of predators, including when they're lying down and they're hiding from these animals. They will have no scent, hopefully. What's this here? It's a bear. Okay, we got 3 bears fighting. Let's zoom in a little bit. Wow. Can you imagine fighting on these? Oh my gosh, you got a, holy cow. I got a gigantic wound. Oh, he's just absolutely wrecking this guy's back. Using all his weight to just rip on his fur. It's a tough battle. The bear on top even has a gash on his side. You can see on his right side there's a bit of a huge gash. He's like trying to drown this other bear. So this looks like male on male competitive strategy. The third bear that was in this originally must have been a female. Let's look at the description here. The female bear, safely observing from a distance, is bound by nature's law to select the victor. In the wild, the strongest, most dominant male correlates to the strongest, most dominant genes. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, this is pretty tough. This is a crazy bear battle. I've seen crazier. Maybe next time we'll do that. What do we have here? Observer shadows a lone leopard. The large cat has already zeroed in on an old, presumably abandoned termite mound and its occupant. To the casual observer, this mound is empty. To the leopard, it harbors a hidden feast waiting to be extracted. Swiftly, it dives into the burrow, ensnaring an incognito warthog. Seems like a long video. Ooh, there we go. He's got a kill. So, oh, you can hear it the whole time. That's crazy. These warthogs will burrow in backwards into termite mounds because they're soft. And so the warthog will burrow a den and then come in backwards, and then the leopard's coming in from the front and trying to pull it out. That's one of the reasons why warthogs have tusks in the front, is so that when they're in the burrows, their weapons are out front. But clearly, this guy didn't make the cut. All right, next one. Here is this is a viral video, I think from a couple years ago. So, grizzly bear and a moose. So, I don't know what the term for a female moose is, but it's a mother moose. She's trying to protect. Oh wow! It's a mother moose trying to protect her. Is it fawn? Is that the term for a baby moose? Anyway, it's tragic because apparently at the end of this, there's multiple videos in this series. You can see the grizzly just grab the calf at the end and just take off. And the mother is so exhausted. Apparently the bear had been stalking her all day, maybe a day. Yeah, 24 hours, maybe it was longer, just chasing relentlessly. The mother was so exhausted she couldn't do anything. So, it's tragic stuff like that happens out here. But you can see the mother's trying as hard as she can to chase off this grizzly. Pretty fast animals. Okay, 2 tigers. What do you got? 2 males, probably. Wow. So the tiger on bottom, all feet in the air. Every single one of those paws has claws on it, right? So it's sort of like an emergency SOS position to be with your back on the ground, because then all of your weapons can be up towards the attacker. Oh, interesting. So I was wrong about this. It says, caught in the raw moment, we witnessed a tense standoff between the mother tiger and her near adult, a daughter. The young tigress, still learning the rules of the wild, pushed the boundaries by scent marking deep within her mother's territory. It's akin to spraying graffiti on the queen's castle. In the world of tigers, scent marking is more than just a calling card, it's an assertion of dominance. So, this is cool because this is like social correction, right? So these animals are social. Humans, extremely social. Chimps, very social. Tigers, also social. So when you have behavior that goes against the social fabric, of the species, right? So this daughter is marking territory within the mother's territory. that's not acceptable. It's seen as an act of aggression, and the mother is educating the daughter, as aggressive it may look, as it may look. It seems that there wasn't a lot of damage done. But this is a lesson from mother to daughter in what not to do. And I can guarantee you this mother was not trying as hard to hurt the daughter as a lone, male would have tried to in this situation. So it's a good lesson. Social correction from animals. We got a grizzly here. 2 grizzlies. Okay. Yeah. These animals are so powerful. They're so big. Several 100 pounds just moving like that. Just so quick. Wrestling and sparring. Okay, I'm proud of your shirts, dude. An eagle, what do we got? King of the sky. Mid-flight, a bald eagle reveals its ruthless efficiency, grips a recently caught fish, and with swift, casual precision, it decapitates its prey and promptly gulps down the remainder. Oh, maintaining its majestic aerial trajectory. Okay. Pulls off the head. Gulps down the rest of it, I'm assuming. Yeah, I mean, that's cool, but I guess it's not like super impressive to me for whatever reason. It's just like, okay, this thing does it. I mean, how many fish does an eagle eat in its life, right? How many times has it perfected this? Of course, it's going to get really good at decapitating. It's like we can eat McDonald's while we're driving. I mean, it's not that hard. Once you learn how to drive, once you learn how to eat McDonald's, you do it a few times. You got one hand on the wheel, one hand on your fries. Not a big deal. Okay. This is a compilation. We're skipping that because it's too intense. We already watched a Robin video. Let's skip that one. Okay, grizzly and a deer. Wow. The deer is already dead. It's not struggling at all. Okay, not a great video. Essentially, a bear just finds a deer on the side of the road. Probably roadkill. Okay, hungry eyes. This is a great photo. Yeah, you can see the blood. You can see the eyes. That's pretty cool there. Oh, okay, here's a duck. What's going on here? What is going on? It's like bleeding. Is there something on its neck? Oh, wow. A turtle and a duck in a rare confrontation. Turtles are typically omnivores, with a diet consisting of both plant. Yes, we know that. Okay, so the turtle's eating the duck? I'm kind of lost. We know turtles are omnivores, they eat bugs, blah, blah, blah. I'm just surprised. I'm surprised the duck couldn't get away. It is what it is. Ah, it's brutal. Okay, we got a waterfall. This is a hot tub. Oh, a tree falling. Wow. Yeah, that's no joke. If a tree's falling, you don't want to be near it. Next one. Shell game. Tiger sharks have uniquely evolved to tackle tough prey like sea turtles. With serrated, nearly razor-sharp teeth, these sharks can crunch through turtle shells like a hot knife through butter. Oh yeah, so you can see the turtle's fins coming up in the air, flapping for help. And a tiger shark is just pounding on them. Video's looping. Let's look up tiger shark tooth. There, I just saw one the other day. So this is the one I saw. So basically you have like a serrated edge, right? This is like a saw on the left side, and that saw is just ripping into the animal that it's hunting. and it's just very sharp, the super fine point. So you have sort of a combination of like scissors and like a fork that's like really, really sharp. It's brutal. Imagine this, but times 1,000, and then on top of that, the shark is shaking like crazy. So you have like 1,000 of these little saws on your arm, and that's kind of what's and that's kind of what's happening here in this video of the bull shark. Sorry, tiger shark with the sea turtle. Yeah. All right, 6:45. It's been half an hour. Hope this live stream was good. First time, I guess. So yeah, if you couldn't hear me, sucks to suck. But yep. All right. Take care, people. See ya.